All right, so we're starting the 4th of July tournament here. We just finished up the California Ultimate Tournament. One tournament after the next, after the next, after the next. Second place. They got me in qualifying round. Dag nabbit. What did they shoot? Let me see what they shot. They got me in both. I think I shot a 17 as well in the qualifying round, but the opening round, that 31, I just could not hit perfect. Now they would have got me no matter what. I just couldn't hit perfect in the opening round. There you go. Second. Close. First loser. Not a bad deal. For those of you that are playing tournaments, like, you gotta look at the big picture. It took 400 people is what you're going against. So if you're in the top 10, that's a big deal. That's in the top 2.5% of the players that are out there. So that's big. There we go. I was looking for Castaway so I could finally max that Castaway out. Excellent. Excellent. Trying to get those lower tier epics maxed out so that I'm getting the better epics in the pool. Working on them. That was the big deal right there, is replenishing the berserkers, and I used a lot of kingmakers in the last tournament, so getting those ones can max out that Castaway. Let's clear off the desktop. Let's get all this shit out of the way. Get an empty slot. Start working on the next one. Let's look at those balls. I'm not buying anything from Playdemic, but Power 10, a Power 5 ball with 4.5 topspin boost. Those are the balls right there. Getting the precision balls, really, that's the whole deal. They've made it so if there isn't a precision ball in the pack, it's really not worth buying. Upgrade, maxed out the Castaway. Look at that. Second epic that's maxed out. Ooh, it's still never going to go in my bag. There we have it. All right. The next card to get up and level is that Spitfire. I'm 10 away. 10 away. Four club card trading days away from getting that to level 7, and that'll be awesome. All right. What do we have in store for us here today? What do we have in store? All right. 4th of July, it's 3 different courses. It's Sequoia Creek, Wiseacre Ranch, and Santa Ventura. I did a scouting report yesterday. This wasn't up on Tommy's site, so I don't know if he's going to wait until Mondays before he puts it up, or if they just couldn't get it up in time, or what the deal is. I am going this direction right here, trying to see what it takes to get onto this island. I'm pretty sure in the past that I've always done the rough bump, where you get bounce number 1 and then you're trying to do a rough bump, but I'm pretty sure that this is an overpower shot. Like, it's not. We'll find out. We'll find out. Let's see what we have here. Let's take a 3 power ball to start off with, but I'm sure that that's not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. We'll find out the hard way. Free entry in rookie. And I am a rookie. Rookie bastard. Let's play. We're going to play practice today. I'm not if something I'm not going to qualify today. Today I'm just trying to get. This is why it's so important to record your own video. You can come out here and you can do a practice round where you can take your time and you can check your red lines, and then you can go back and watch it, and then you can decide what you want to put in your bag. and have a game plan for each hole. Yeah, I mean, it's just not going to cut it from here. Not sure. Let's check out. Let's see how much overpower we have to put on if we did a do. You might. You can see with a Power 5 ball, if you got your extra mile, it's got the same topspin here. You're looking at the same kind of deal. You're probably going to be on the island bouncing over and doing the bounce, steady bounce. And I think that's probably how we're going to have to, that's the way right there. So on headwind days, on tailwind days, you wouldn't have to do any overpower, or if you did, just a little teeny bit. And on tailwind days, or excuse me, on headwind days, you're going to have to do some overpower. And on tailwind days, you might be able to get away with just doing a titch. Now, if you're going to bring out a special ball like that, like a Power 5 ball would be, like that ball's got a lot of other stuff on it as far as the precision and all that, and I'm not sure that, man, that's a great ball to be using here. You definitely want to hit it perfect, but like, I suppose if you have the inventory, but even there they hit it great with a Precision 8, Precision 4 ball, and end up in the sand. Now, just in case we don't have the ball inventory, let's bring out a Titan and let's see what it looks like from over here. I'm going to pull back to the +8 mark. 3.5. It's 1.2 per ring. That's 3.6 is 3 rings. I'll put on about that much curl. I'm going to put all of the curl on. Let's see if I can clear those trees over there. Too much curl. I set it up 2 rings off on that transitional surface, and I should have set it up 4. I was trying to leave myself a little more room on the right with those trees. When you look out into the Sequoia Creek thing, you see nothing but trees, but the branches and stuff are usually pretty high on these big ass redwoods. So what I'd really like to do, well, they're actually going to get in the hole with their precision ball. That is the benefit of bringing a precision ball here. If you don't end up in the right spot, you got a good chance of being able to make it. That shot that I was doing right there, I set it up 2 rings off of this transitional surface. Where's the tee box? So we can draw a line here. I'm going off in this direction. Just a couple rings off of this transitional surface, and I ended up here on a max curl. So what I normally would do if I was doing a max curl shot like that is I would leave myself 4 rings off of this transitional surface. So I would have pulled the shot to the right, and then when you do the max curl, you're leaving yourself room for the shot to develop. I knew when I set it up there that a max curl shot was going to be too much, but I wanted to see if I could get my bounces right so that I bounced over that area, and the answer to that question is no. But these trees that are over here, man, this course scares the hell out of me, because like you're doing a max curl shot and then you just tag those trees. It looked like from where I was at that I was pretty close to the trees over here, so the deal there is set it up exactly like I did, but only use half curl instead of max curl. All right. I didn't want to waste the big ball, but I think, like, especially on days when there's a tailwind or a side wind, going this direction is the deal. Depending on how big the wind is on a headwind day, we might still be able to get that done. It just depends on the ball and your equipment. But I am going to go this direction anytime that I can. anytime that I can. All right, what is hole number 2? Hole number 2. Hole number 2. All right, this hole right here, I talked about this yesterday in the scouting report. Like, you can lay it up, you can try and bring it over. If you bring a topspin boost ball, I know you can get over into this area. I think you can do it with a regular 5-power ball, depending on your clubs. Or you can go off on this side. I prefer to go off over here because there's still risks involved in getting over here, and we'll go look at it. This hole right here is a tough hole to get an eagle on. I have a handful of eagles on this hole, but it is a tough hole to get an eagle on. But there's going to be a lot of people that are going to get their lunch ate, especially when they're doing that rough bump, because that rough bump is really tricky. And depending on which way the wind's blowing, like if you get a pure side wind, it's not a bad deal, because you can't really overpull or underpull, and you're going to hit, you may hit to the left or the right of where you wanted to hit, but you're going to do it. But when we have tailwind and headwind days, in my experience on this hole, we do something different on a headwind day. How much our variable is that we're going to add onto the shot is going to be different than it is on a tailwind day. And I could be wrong on that. Maybe they're the same, but that rough bump is tricky. Tricky. Let's go look at it. Let's go look at it. Let's bring an assortment of balls and see what our deal is. MC Hammer. Santa Ventura. The Pro Tees, it's a little bit, you have to set your shot up if you're going to go over to this area. If you're going to hit over into here, it's a little bit harder because of where you're starting. With a bigger power ball, we can start off in that fairway where we can get a pretty good run at it. Now, I say I'm going to go to the left, but I'm sitting here looking at where they're at with a quasar, and I'm thinking if you brought out a bigger power ball, you might be able to get over. Opponent hit it perfect. Perfect. And they eyeballed it, so I have no idea. No idea. If you're hitting over to that spot, or hitting to that side, that's not a bad spot. Not bad. Not bad, my friend. Now, with no overpower, you can see where I'm at. So if we brought out a power 5 ball, you're in the zone. You definitely want to set that curl up so you know how much curl. Just a little. Thinking about where your arc's going to be with the second bounce here, your arc's coming across. So if you put on that curl so that you're in this lane running down the lane, it's definitely doable from over there. The deal is you got so much topspin put on there that if you hit great, especially great to the left, you really take a risk of getting in some bad stuff. Bad. But you can definitely put yourself over here. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, bro. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know that I don't have any that say I'm practicing. Practice, 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 practice. No, I might have one in the myriad of. Well, let's see what they do there. I'm not sure if they were going for the rough bump or if they were trying to get it all the way up. Not sure. All right, let's change this ball to a Titan, the king of balls. I'm at the +6 mark right there. That's going to be too much. I don't need that much topspin. There's 4 topspin. I'm going to do 5. 2/8. About that much. Let's do a little bit of curl this time. Let's just try and lay it out there and see what the deal is on that. Skirting it. Almost too much curl. This is where these tick marks on the, if you have a grid, you can adjust it, putting tick marks on there so that you can go back and watch the video and go, okay, hey, I pulled out to the black line, and you can try and replicate it. That's why normally when I'm doing curl, I like max curl shots, because then you can really, it's repeatable. If you set yourself up in the same spot, you can repeat that over and over and over. Grizzly, minimum grizzly. What's my minimum grizzly? Is 1.3 per ring. So 2.2 divided by 1.3, just straight up it'd be 1.7 rings. .7 rings. 1.7. Oh, and then I hit it great. And that might have been pretty damn close on a perfect. That was a great to the left, and then ended up great to the left, and that would have been pretty close. No, we're good. We're practicing, bro. Nobody practice. There's so few people that practice. They see you do stuff and they're like, you know, they're freaking out about it. Nobody practices. Even in practice, nobody practices. Playdemic has everybody so hoodwinked that, you know, you just go out there and do the deal. I think that direction right there, you won't have to bring out anything special. If you hit over to this side right here and you're trying to get it up in there, this water right here is definitely in play, and anything that goes wrong to the left, you do, because you've got so much topspin in order to get from this spot to get over to the other side, that if your trajectory is off, you really take the risk of going right into that water. This shot coming over here is definitely set upable. And that was with 4 topspin. That got me in front of the tree. Nice shot up, minimum grizzly. And I'd have to get to about right here in order to be on my thorn, and I'm not, it's kind of hard to get around the bend at the very end of your shot. You're going to end up tailing off into the sand and the rough. If you can get in front of that shadow right there, that is a pretty good spot. Pretty good. All right, I think that is the way I'm going to go with a 3-power ball. What would help? A 3-side spin ball might help on the drive, getting you out there, like a 3-power 3-side spin ball, so you wouldn't have to do any curl, or less, just a little bit of curl for flavor. But a Titan will work fine. Will work fine. Hole number 3. Hole number 3. All right, we just had this hole in a tournament here not too long ago, and I'm going to play from this spot right here, trying to go over. It seems like you can take a katana on this, that you don't need a Kingmaker, but I could be wrong on that. I think if there was tailwind or sidewind, you can bring a katana to this, but if it's headwind, you might have to bring out a 3-power ball. And if you're only bringing a 3-side spin ball, it's hard to get all the way through the gap. You're going to end up in this rough or sand, so you can't put all the topspin on it. You can only put like a couple, like literally a couple topspin. And I'm going to play it with, you want to play it with whatever driver you have that's got the most amount of curl. You could, like my Big Topper's got 100 curl, and my Apocalypse has got 98, and I think my Rock has 98 as well. This might not be a bad shot for the Big Topper. Now, I got the benefit that I got a maxed out big topper, so it's got 230. It's got all of its distance, whereas you're probably in the range where you're like in the 220s, 224, somewhere in that neighborhood, 220, 218, and you might not be able to get to that spot. But I think, you know, if you've got any of those will work. Whatever club you have that's got the most curl that you can get into that spot. And depending on which club you're using and what level you have them, you may have to bring out a different ball. In order to get yourself into that spot. I'm going to do it with an APOC. We'll see. We'll see. And definitely want to bring a 3-side spin ball. I'm going to start off with a... What balls do I have pinned here? I'm going to start off with a Katana. Let's see here. Let's pin that one. Just some of these we're going to be testing out a 5-power ball, so might as well get it set up. And I was doing a 10% on the drive on this. I am sure of it. Sure. %100% sure. Mr. Haverkamp. Now, if you bring out a 4 or a 5 side spin ball, 5 side spins better. You see where my red line is, so like if we did have a headwind, I can work out almost 5 rings, so pretty close to 6 miles an hour. So you could probably use a Katana every round. I'm just going to put on 2 topspin. 2 rings off. Right there in the pocket. 4.2 divided by 1.2. 3.85 rings. There's 3.85. Max curl. Oh, and I hit it great on the outside. Hitting it great on the inside is I probably could have. The deal is if you put a little bit more topspin on it, you're like, hey, if I'd hit that perfect, where I'm at right here, I could have came in through this line and I could have put more topspin on. But when you put more topspin on, it straightens your shot out. So you go, hey, I could put on like 3 or 4. I could put on all the topspin and try and get up down to the green. Well, when you do that, it'll straighten the shot out and you'll end up in the rough out here. I have no idea what my opponent is doing there, but that is not enough curl. All right, they're going all the way over to the other side. There we go. There we go. Shit, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Hell, do what they were doing. I know I must have known about that we could do that. Why didn't I do that? What is this? 3 divided by 3.5. 0.85 of a ring. .85 of a ring. Oh. And a great to the right. Can you hit somewhere in there? There's perfect. And that was just straight up. No, just a regular adjustment wherever you're at in your club. The wind divided by wherever you're at in your club. I like what my opponent did though. I know I must have. Shit. What was I thinking? Let's go back and look at. I'm gonna go run a practice on this hole just so we can see what balls it takes to get over there. Like, can you do it on it? They used a 3-power ball and had to do overpower. But if you brought a 5-power ball on a tailwind day, do you have to do overpower? I don't always pay attention to what my opponents... Buster, quit messing around. Hey, Damn squirrels. They're running along the fence and they're toying with him as a group. Hey, come on. Let's go practice. I'm gonna look at that hole one time. I just want to see what the deal is on that. Hole number 3. Hole number 3. Practice, practice, practice. I don't always pay attention to how they set the shot up, but like you can learn something from your opponents. Especially if your opponent's trying to max overpower hook shot and you're out there messing around, or you're proxying and your opponent does a max overpower hook shot and they don't make it, then you can look and see like what would you have done different? Did you need to move it more to the right? Did you need to move it more to the left? And you can go out there and do the same shot, and if they're paying attention, you guys can learn some stuff about what's going on. Even with a 5 power ball, you'd have to do overpower. My opponent must have used, and so we've got 2 rings down in this area. That's 1.2 miles per hour, so that's 2.4. So if the wind was higher than 2.4, you're not going to make that on a headwind day. And I'm adding on 10%, so it's that's not the deal. Let's see if we can hit this perfect. And we'll do all of the deal, and I'll put 3 on there and I'll be dangerous about it. 1.1 times the wind divided by 1.2. We'll try that shot one more time, the shot that I did, since we paid for the round, but that is there. You can go over there. I actually like this shot better. If you're gonna waste a power 5 ball and try and go over to the other side, bringing out a bigger side spin ball, and you could bring out a 2 or a 3 power ball and get into the pocket that I'm in. If you've got 4 side spin, you can run all of your top spin if you've got 4 side spin. My opponent's got the idea. That is an area that you can get to very consistently, and they got a killer rough bump right there. Killer. We'll do the 4 and see if we can get through the gap. And I'm 100% sure that that's too much. 2.3, 2.1. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. Ooh, I did make it. On a perfect, man. Looks like somebody went out there and cut the grass a little bit and pulled that rough out. I usually don't make it that far around the corner. It feels, they're in their thorn. I think the deal is I was using a Kingfisher in the past, and the Kingfisher definitely didn't have enough topspin to do the rough bump. The Thorn actually has more topspin than the Kingfisher. You might be able to do it with the Thorn. But if you wanted to do the rough bump there, Runner, not sure how much spin I can't remember how much top spin a Hornet has. I don't think it has any more than a Thorn though. Rapier. There's Max Club. There's Min. I'm in Max. Max Club. It's 1.2 per ring, so it's 4.5 divided by 1.2. 375. 375. There's 375. Exactly. Hitting it perfect. Ooh! 375. That would have been too much. Maybe 0, maybe just a normal adjustment +1, +2. Hey dude, I'm practicing. Today's a practice round. JD. Practice. Well, and that was practice, so what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Why are you giving me a laugh? All right, hole number 4. Hole number 4. Man, it just seems like in the past, trying to get around this bend, that it has not been like running more than 2 or 3 topspin has put me right there. I'm surprised how much in the field I am over here. I'll try that out. Because if I could run a 3 side spin ball and run like 5 topspin, I think 5 topspin. I was in wedge right there, but if I could get to that spot right there, now you're in the where you can run your topspin and flatten it out. My angle was such that I would have engaged. There we got some possibilities here. I really like to just be right up in this area, so you got to chip it on, make your eagle, and move along, little doggy. Got a great hole right there. All right. I'm going to go for the shot that goes off of this island and comes around. And what we're looking for on the second bounce, this is another one of those ones where you have to, in your mind's eye, I want to be a couple rings off of this transitional surface right here between the fairway and the rough. And my first bounce is here, and my second bounce is going to be right here in the sand. Now with a 3 side spin ball, I can get it pretty close to where it's like, but what you have to imagine in your mind's eye is that's where you're going. But if you put a little teeny bit of curl on it, the arc of your shot, when you put that little teeny bit of curl on it and move it over to the right, it's going to land here. And this is the spot right here that we're looking at. Not where it's sitting, but this spot. We want to make sure that that spot is going to clip that rough, because we have to put, it's really easy because this green runs downhill, that if you miss the rough and you hit the fairway right here, it's not going to come in really fast because you didn't have to put on a lot of topspin. But once it hits that hill, it's going to fly down that hill, and you have a really good chance of getting in the rough. It is better to clip up here at the top and then just bleed on, just bleed yourself onto the green, because if it engages the green at all, it'll roll down towards the cup. It will. And I'm going to get this amazing feed done with a Kingmaker, just because the side spin helps. And I've traditionally in the past always done 10% on the drive. And I think with a 3 power ball, there is a little bit of room against your red line. Like if it was a headwind day, we'll see here. I think if it was a big headwind day or a straight up headwind, you might have to bring out a bigger power ball, or you'd have to do some overpower. And the whole deal is that we don't want to do any overpower because we're trying to get our second bounce to clip the rough. And when you start putting on overpower, it's just hard to, like, it might work out for you, but it might not work out for you every time. Here's my red line, so I got plenty of room, plenty of room. 2 rings off. I'm at the +2, 2 rings off. With that, I can get right into that spot right there. I can. 2-1. And I'm kind of pinched up down there. 1.2 rings, or excuse me, 1.92 rings. Hey, let's get where I can see you, damn it. Put just a little bit of curl on it for flavor. Now I'm going to run out of time. And my opponent's going, oh my God. There you go, Kingmaker. And it seems like with an extra mile that my second bounce has always been in the sand. and with a 3 side spin ball, but being able to start off in the right spot over there and not have to put on as much curl. And they stuck it. That's good. That works. That works right there. And with the +2. I like the fact that I got some backspin on here. Green 326, 2.38 rings. A little bit of curl. Hitting it perfect. Didn't quite make it to the green. That'll work though. Anything that you can get on the other side over there is going to be good for you. So anything you can get. And even though I didn't put a lot of curl on there, I really only need to put on about half of that. That's why I stuck, because that rough area there is going like this, and I was trying to hit right here and I hit over here, and so it didn't come out as fast. So however much curl I put on there, this is why it's so important to record your own video, because you can go back and watch. However much curl I put on there, I only needed to put like half of that, because this is the area that I wanted to hit. And I think in that area I actually would have hit on the first cut of the rough, or first cut of the fairway right there, and I hit in the rough and bled out. That's why I didn't get the distance. Anything that's not in the rough, that's on the green side, we have a shot. We have a nice shot of getting an eagle. That hole is going to be good. Good. If anybody's watching this and you've watched my channel before, you're going, dude, you are going to get your ass handed to you in the tournament. But the whole deal is that this is what a practice day is like, where you're going out there and you're trying stuff out. This is why it's important to record your own video, because you can go back and watch it, and now you'll know. You'll be able to make notes on hole number 1 and what clubs you want to bring and what ball you want to bring, and whether you're doing an overpower shot, or whether you know, on headwind days it's overpowering or whatever. And so when you actually play the qualifying round, you go in with a set of notes. Or you can buy notes that somebody else has taken. I mean, those are your choices. Who the hell wants to buy notes that somebody else is playing? That's why you're playing the game. That's my whole goal, is to help people learn how to make their own freaking notes, so you don't have to go buy somebody else's tutorial. All right, hole number 5. Hole number 5. What is hole number 5? You make your own damn tutorial. All right. This is another one of those holes that I'm pretty sure you need to bring out a bigger ball so that you can try and go for the shot down here. If we've got a tailwind or a sidewind day, I think you can do it with a 3-power ball, but if you really want to improve your odds of getting over here, you need to bring out a bigger ball. Pretty sure. And this tree, while it doesn't look, you know, like in the shot, you can tag the trunk of this tree hard. Taking that back. And I'll start off with a Titan. We'll see what we can do with a Titan. And then we'll check it out with a 5-power ball and see what the deal is. I'm going to take it today with a Titan. Try not to waste my 5-power balls when I'm practicing, if I can help it. We want to get maximum utility out of them. That's how I work my ball inventory. It's your ball inventory. You paid for them. You earned whatever balls you have. You can spend your ball inventory how you choose to spend it. Yeah, and the deal is, in order to bring, they're on this line, and in order to bring it over to here with the curl, you put this trunk into play. That'll be nice. That'll be very nice. Very nice, my friend. That is one way to get it done with a Power 3 ball. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. If you brought out a bigger Powerball, you could try and get yourself where you clip and you come out up at the top right there. So even on a headwind day, man, you're only really going to be able to seriously get that done on tailwind days. Hey, Busta. Let's bring out this. I'm going to go for the shot going over here. And we just need to get to that area right there. So we don't need to do... Buster, knock it off, bro. Come on, man. You're killing me. Dang dogs. The Firefly 5. I played with a Firefly for a long time. I went Firefly Rapier. Those are really the only two of those clubs that I have. And the thing with the Firefly, I wasn't paying attention right there to know whether they hit perfect. As soon as this hole's over, I'm gonna have to put Buster inside. Now Max. So 2.2. I'm going to do 2 rings. That's 2-4. And I'm going to pull back a half a ring. Oh, I got 70 things going on at the same time here. And that's not the first time I have ended up in that sand. That is one of many times that I've ended up in that sand. All right. I can't believe they missed that shot. That is the thing with a Firefly, though. I don't remember if they hit it perfect. I wasn't paying attention, but with a Firefly, you have to hit it perfect. I mean, you really got no shot. See this spot right here where it's quilted, where they stitch the course together? There are some spots in this course where that is the case, where that's the deal, and those spots hit. You don't want to set your shot up where you're trying to bounce in that spot. Weird stuff can happen. It can. In the hole. All right. Hold on. All right. I'm back. We're going on vacation, so my wife is freaking out. She's already booking the next vacation. We haven't gone on this one, so that's the way we normally do it. But usually we wait until we're either on vacation or we're back home before we start thinking about the next one. She's already stressed about the next one. Hole number 6. All right. This hole I am going to bring out something big. You can, if you don't have a big inventory of balls, or you've got mid-level, low-level equipment, just hit it out here. You can take any driver in your bag. Your extra mile works fine. And you can put it right into that spot right there. Sniper to the cup, whatever you use for a wood, you got a great shot from right there. And you'll have the same shot every time because it's super easy to get to that spot. My personal opinion, hitting it out into here where you're doing the rough bump and you're just trying to drive it out into this area and you're hitting into this and you're just trying to put it right there, this second shot, if I remember correctly, it's long iron from here, and you need to bring a long iron that's got backspin, because where you have to start off on the sand, you're so pinched to the cup that what you really want to do is open up your angle so that you're on this side of the line so you can make a straight up shot to the cup. But it is difficult to get out into this area, because if you're trying to bring the ball to the right like this, you've got to get farther in order to get out of the rough. Now, you could clip the rough and still get out, but it's more difficult. And if we've got a headwind day, you're definitely going to have to bring out a bigger ball in order to get yourself more down the row down here. So if I'm going to have to do that and bring out a bigger ball to try and get over here, and I'm just going to go. I'm going to go and try and do a first bounce here, second bounce, rough bump, and bleed out and end up right there. That's my goal. This is one of those risk versus rewards holes, and you can end up in the drink. I've had a lot of success on this hole, but I've also had, this is the agony of defeat, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. I've felt the thrill of victory and I've felt the agony of defeat on this hole, because I have ruined my round and ended up in the water here. I mean, it is a risk if you're trying to go for this side over here, especially on headwind days, because man, it really kills your ball from bounce number 1 to bounce number 2. I mean, it lays it down hard when it goes over that water. Consistency wise, just hitting out here and going straight up, this is a hard hole to eagle. And the deal is that consistency wise, if you're trying to do it, just hitting the ball over here with, and you can do this with a marlin. So if you bring out a little bit bigger ball, your second shot may be a little bit more enhanced, especially if you bring out like a katana, because it's got 3 side spin. So it gives you more ability when you get down here in order to get to the cup and really get a run at it. That consistency wise, this is probably the shot to do. And it may be what I do today, but because I don't know if I want to waste a 5 power ball coming over and hitting that shot. But that is and that shot is an you got to do max overpower every day. It's always a max overpower shot, even with a 5 power ball. I'll show you what it looks like, and then I may switch it up and take the shot with my I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'm going to switch balls to a katana and just lay it up over on the left. Consistency wise, if you're really trying to go for the eagle here, I think that so that you can really work on your second shot, because that's the whole goal here, is we're putting the drive is a delivery system to put us in the spot so that we can make the second shot, the best spot. So if you bring out a 5 power ball and you're trying to clip the rough here so that you can get out into this area, so you draw a line here so that we can get as close to this line as possible so that we can go right at the cup and not have to involve ourselves with the sand. It's not a bad deal. Is my opponent going straight forward? Are they trying to get over to the other side? I think they might be. So we might be able to, we might get to see the shot that I'm talking about right here with my opponent. And getting over it, I like to clip the rough and just bleed out in front of the sand, because you're never going to woe it up. You're always going to be in that spot. So if you have a precision ball, you can do exactly what my opponent did, and that's the deal, because you're more than likely going to end up in the rough or the sand, and that's not a bad deal. I'll just put on 5 topspin and act like I'm like everybody else. 4.5, 10%, that'd be 5. There's 4.8. There's 4.5, 5, somewhere in that neighborhood. perfect. And just layer up. Nice straight shot to the cup. Let me get my calculator rolling here. Yeah, if you try and bounce it over there, if you have a 5-power precision ball, on tailwind days, you could probably do it with a 4-power precision ball. All you got to do is hit that perfect. I don't know if I would have set it up. Well, I don't know if I'd have set it up that far off the cup. I think a grate to the left will go in. And that was a 2-ring grate to the left. I think they set it up a little, and then you have this shot every time. Nice. There's max. I'm right at max. Right at max. I'm going to pull back to the +2 mark. Give myself a little bit of leeway. I'm going to take it straight up, so it's 2.2 rings, and I've got the wind going right with me, so we're not going to learn too much about wind adjustment today. Here's 2.2. Hitting it perfect. Just a bit outside. Man, the way the wind was blowing there, because that wind was blowing, my shot was going off in this direction, and the wind was blowing damn near the same direction that my shot was going. I definitely needed to add something on there. It just seemed like it was off. Why did you disconnect? Really? And they're freaking out because they might be playing around, and they're okay, yeah. They're playing around trying to get back in. Better take it quick before you disconnect, bud. Take it quick. That's not a bad deal, just laying it up over there on the left-hand side so you get a nice shot every time. You can work that out. You can work out what you need to do to make an adjustment to get in the hole from that side, and you can put yourself in a great spot every time. I'd probably, where I was at with the red line there, it would probably be better with a Kingmaker. That way, if we did have a headwind day, you've got a little bit, you're not having to pull way back. It might be a better deal. Might be. All right, we definitely do not want to qualify today. I need to tank some shots. Hole number 7. Hole number 7. All right, I always come on this hole with it. This is another one of these holes. If you got precision balls, go for it. If you end up in the sand or you end up in the rough, and more than likely you'll end up in the sand. If you end up in the sand, you got a precision ball. This sand is so close that you're in one of those situations where if you hit perfect, it goes in. Or you can just simply lay it up right there and go for the shot. And you can get to this spot right here very easily. Very easily. Every time. So you're doing, once again, it's consistency. You're always going to be in the same spot, and you don't have to bring out a precision ball or bring out something special. And even with the precision ball, when you're doing a rough or a sand shot, you know, it's still more of a challenge to hit perfect than it is if you were right here. And if you can get this number worked out in the weekend round, you can bring out a precision ball for this, and this is a money shot. I'm going to just lay it up, and we'll look at that. Because going for it, you're either on the green or you're in the sand making the shot. So let's go for it. Let's just lay it up. We'll look at the shots and see what we got. That bag, and I'm going to bring an extra mile because everybody's got an extra mile, and it's no big deal to get to the spot with an extra mile. It only takes 2 1/4 topspin, and you can get right up there to the front. We'll see. Yeah. My opponent's going to go for it, and they got it just a regular katana. Maybe they can get their bounces right. Bounce number 1. They're going to get it. They got it. Look at that. Just a normal mortal ball. Man, it feels like they've shortened this up. It does feel like this hole is shorter than it used to be. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to lay it up. I could do that. I could, but I'm just going to lay it up. I'm going to be quick about it. Eyeball it. Now I'm just as bad as everybody else. I just eyeballed it. It doesn't take much to get to that area. No fuss, no muss. It seems to me in the past that we've always done a 10% adjustment on this. And my opponent, of course, is going to make the eagle, so now I've got to go for the eagle. Because they made it over. Maybe I'll get lucky and they'll miss. My opponent's a douchebag, dumbass anyway, so I can tell. I'll do a 10%. 10% times the wind. 4.3 divided by, here's minimum club. It's 3.5 at minimum. 1.35. .35 rings. There's 135 exactly. Exactly. Hitting it perfect. I didn't really want to get that eagle, but I didn't want my opponent to get a chest. They're used to getting fleeced, so I wanted them to feel like they were at home. All right. Now I really have to get. I'm gonna have to make sure I practice on these last holes. I did 10% there, and that was almost an overpull, so it might be 10% minus 1. But you can set that up. It's not. There's no effort to get to that spot. And if you wanted to bring out a precision ball, like instead of bringing it out every round to try and get out of here, you could bring it out on the weekend round so that you could really get out. You've got options here other than trying to bring out something big. There's enough of these holes that are in here that you may have to bring out something big, especially the Sequoia Creek holes, that on these types of holes, if we don't have to bring out a big ball in order to get over there. Now, my opponent was able to do it with a katana with a tailwind. Now, if we'd had a headwind day, they might have been able to get that same stuff done with a 3 or a 4 power ball, but having to change stuff from one round to the next, you can get to this point every round, and have the same shot every time. Consistency on these holes is really, I like going for stuff, but there is something to be said about being able to consistently take the next shot. Over and over and over and over and over again. All right, we're on hole number 8. What is hole number 8? All right. This is another one of those ones where if you bring out a big enough ball that you can you can get in this window, you can drive it down through the deal and try and lay yourself up so you got a short little chip. What you have to watch out about doing this shot right here is you need to stay away from that sand. You want to skirt this. Our inclination is to try and get as close to that sand in our run as possible. So if you hit perfect, you're fine. If you hit great to the left, you're fine. But anything great to the right, you're caught in the sand. And I believe that from this spot, that if we brought out a 5-power ball, if I remember correctly, on a tailwind or a sidewind day, we don't have to do any overpower. If you bring out a 3-power ball, you're always going to do overpower. I think. I could be wrong on that. I could. Let's go find out. Let's find out. I almost feel like bringing out my big topper and starting from the other side and running all my topspin and seeing, like, I know that you can't get all the way, you can't get as far because you're having to hit quite a bit further, but what do they got? They got a 4-power ball. So with a 5-power ball, you would actually have a window there and you wouldn't have to do any overpower. So we can see from what my opponent's doing. Yeah, I would say the side spin to the left will probably be helpful. I would have. Okay. They pulled off some distance. Yeah, they're in the sand. This is what that was a piss poor shot setup. The deal is it's more important to be in the fairway than it is to be in the sand. So, like, putting on a little bit of left-hand side spin there to pull the ball to the left, I would rather just be up there and take the short chip and be in this spot right here by bringing it up here as opposed to trying to go to the hole. They put those sand traps there for a freaking reason. Come on. What I'm thinking is, like, how far away am I from the red line? You got quite a bit of distance, so if you've got a lower developed big topper, that might not be a bad deal. Where am I at? 3-1. Where am I? I'm gonna let it time out just so that I want to make sure that I tank a shot here. Hell, you could probably do that with a, depending on the level of your big topper, you could probably do that with just a Quasar. Sahara. Sahara's not a... I was way back in the day when Playdemic used to have a forum, which was kind of cool when the game first started, but it started getting, it got tagged so much from people spamming it and doing shit that they shut it down. Somebody arguing that no matter what, when a Sahara got maxed out, it was the best sand wedge in the game. It's like, okay, are you guys forgetting that there's a Spitfire out here? Swap the ball. Let's go with a Quasar. I just am interested in seeing how far I can get up there. I'm going to come down as far as I possibly can. 4.2 times 1.1 divided by 1.8 is 256. There's the 5.6. There's the 2. Hitting it perfect. I set it way down in there because I knew I was going to do max curl, and I'm just trying to see how much, if I can eke out, how much distance I can eke out. That's actually not too bad. You got a pretty serious shot there with a freaking Quasar and a big topper running all your topspin, and it doesn't matter what level big topper you have, it's going to have 100 topspin. So you could get down in that area. What will be different is how much curl you have. So if you've got a lower developed one on setting it up, that is, I call those blind curl shots. I'm at max, there's mid. And I probably want to take that at max. So it's 3.3, and I'm going to take it straight up. 3.3 divided by 1.2, 275, 275. There's 2.5, 275. Isn't it perfect? Just a bit outside. +1. I was at max plus 0.1. That would have been in the hole. Just 0 plus 0.1. Excellent. Excellent. Hole number 9. Hole number 9. What do we have in store for us here? All right. I always think, once again, this is one of those deals where during the round, I like to play to the right. You can play to the left and try and bring it out here. The problem with playing it to the left is if you get to this rough, if you don't get your curl right so that you can get back over to the fairway, if you put too much curl on, your trajectory is going like this and you're bleeding yourself off into the rough or the trees on this side. If you don't get it right, you're in the rough on this side. Because the course is going like this and you're trying to hit a curl shot like this and trying to get down into this area. To me, the flow, the feng shui on this hole is all to the going from the left and bringing it back to the right, not trying to start off on the right and bringing it back to the left. But you can do this. You can go in between the trees. If you hit perfect all the time, going in between the trees isn't a bad deal. But unfortunately, I don't hit perfect all the time. They've had these mixed courses where there's no par 3s. We've got par 4s, par 5s, and we've had some ones where there's only par 4s. When are we going to have the tournament play-demic where it's nothing but par 5s? Or how about the par 3 tournament? It's nothing but par 3s. I would literally like the par 5 tournament, and that, from their perspective, you'd think that they would be like, hey man, we're going to have some par 5 tournaments where it's nothing but par 5s, because the ball inventory that we would use during the course of the week. So if you want to start off over here, and you're going in that, if I put enough curl on it to get around the bend, I'm going off in this direction to try and get right here so that I could run up through that range and get my bounces right is difficult. But you can try and hit in between the trees here, coming this direction. Little teeny bit of curl just to bring yourself around the bend. Same thing over here. Over here you're going to do more of a max curl shot, trying to bring it up and around the bend. We'll bring out a bigger ball. I'll bring out a Kingmaker and try and go in between the trees. This is definitely, I'm not a fan of doing overpower on a shot like this when you're going in between things like that, because man, if you hit perfect, it's fine, but you hit great, like right there. I mean, if that doesn't hit that tree, I'm going to be surprised. There you go. There you go. Let's bring out a bigger ball. Let's bring out a Kingmaker and see what we can do. And we can get the same exact shot my opponent had. So if you bring out a bigger power ball, you can get into that zone with a little bit of curl. Let's see what that looks like with a Power 5 ball. My opponent's like, dude, what are you doing? So we do have a window with a Power 5 ball, and we wouldn't have to do any overpower. And if you had a 4 side spin, then you wouldn't have to put on any curl, and you could just start off in the spot. But on a headwind day, you're going to have to do something different. This shot from over here, if you can set this up, what we're looking for is the angle of the dangle. If I put max curl on it, where do I set it up? I'm going to set up my blue ring along this transitional line right here so that I'm 3 rings into the fairway, and I'm going to do a max curl shot. I'll take out the wind and do a max curl shot from there so that we can work on trajectory. These Sequoia Creek holes, when we have a full tournament where we're playing on nothing but these Sequoia Creek holes, you want to talk about going through some balls. There's 45 holes, and I think it was a big ass number, like lots and lots. I had my big topper out before, so you can get over into that window. And so if I brought out a Power 5 ball, yeah, okay, I'm going to try it from over here. I'm at the +3 mark, 3 rings off. +2 mark, 3 rings off. 3.9. 3.9 divided by 1.2. 3 1/4 rings. Max curl. Out of time. Out of time. My opponent's like, what in the shit are you doing, dude? We have lots of options there, and I'm just not sure which. I really don't want to blow the big power balls. You want to do what it takes to qualify and to get in, and tiebreakers do matter. I mean, sometimes it kills me. I had a really good round in this last tournament, and I tied at 34 with somebody who took the opening round a little more serious than me. I was still practicing in the opening round, and I lost because of tiebreakers. So it is important to maintain it, but I don't necessarily want to blow. Oh, damn it! I didn't get to take a shot. So I'm gonna go. I will go practice that. I don't really care which way the wind's blowing. We'll go practice it since I did that. Sorry about that. We'll go practice it once, so I can take a shot. I almost think my big topper would be better because I'm pulling back. I think I will go back to my big topper. It's got more curl. I think where I'm setting it up though, that my angle's too sharp, and I'm actually going to over curl it if I do max curl. We'll find out. And we're going to find out the hard way. My angle going through these trees, if I can get my pen to work, coming through this area, trying to figure out what this angle is, trying to give yourself enough, move to the left enough that you can allow the shot to develop on the right hand side. Man, I'm not sure that I'm not really sure you learn anything by doing that. You do an overpower, like, what's with that 2? Let's go up to a big top line. Got a little bit of room. Trying to cover that angle. Okay, I'm at the +8 mark. 3.7 times 1.1 divided by 1.8, 2.26 rings. There's 2, right back to the red line. And I hit it great to the right. I hit it great to the right and I still went through there. So if I'd hit it perfect, I definitely would have got stuck in that. So I set it up down in that pocket where I was 1 ring off, and I can move it over and put myself 2 rings off of that pocket and then work the wind out and straighten that line up. And 2 rings, it might need to be 2 1/4, 2 1/2. Let's practice it one more time. One more time. Rapier. And right at the red line. Should be 2 rings. I'm right at the red line. Just a titch of overpower. Hitting it perfect. Going for it. That's the other thing about the rapier is you can use it just like a thorn. It's got all that backspin, so you can do stuff with it. It's also not a one-trick pony. Typically with your rapier, you can get in spots where you can run your topspin, but there are some holes that you need to get up a little closer. All right, let's practice that one more time. I'm gonna get that angle worked out. I'm gonna take my big tapa, and I'm gonna take a kingmaker, and I'm gonna set it up. I'm gonna set it up 2 1/2 rings. I'm gonna set it up. Let me think here. I'm gonna set it up 2 1/2 rings off. I almost feel like setting it up 3 rings off, and so we can really set the range, but I think 2 1/2 will be fine. And if you're confused, you'll understand as soon as I get out there. Maybe. 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 Oh, damn it. Now you're really getting bonus content because I forgot to change the freaking hole. Shit. Dagnabbit. I don't understand why they spent a practice token to come out here with a Marlin unless they just wanted to see whether a Marlin would do it. And like I don't understand that. Personally, I don't understand it. Okay, I over curled it on the front. Way over curled it. I'm going to pull back to the +9 mark. 2.8. I'm going to do 2 1/2 rings. You might have to work a little to get over to that spot, but you can get over to that spot fairly consistently. And that is definitely downhill. So if all things being even, our variable we should be adding some on to the wind. I'm going to add on 10%, and it's probably more. It's actually quite the distance from where the flagpole is to where I'm at. take it straight up, and then we can see whether or not we need to do something. There's minimum thorn. There's max, so there's mid. I could do a rough bump from here. Do I have enough topspin to get me there? I do. That's pretty damn fooch. That's pretty close. 3.8 divided by 3.5 be 1.1 rings. And that's with nothing. That's not adding anything on, and I'm pretty sure I need to be adding something on. So it's probably gonna throw me too far forward, and I'll miss the rough. Great to the left. That was close. That was close. I think if I'd have hit it perfect, I'd have missed the same distance on the other side. I think we do need to add on a little, like maybe a +1 or 5% or something. If you don't want to bring out anything big and you want to not take the risk of getting caught up in the stuff, there is a shot over on the right. I think you'll still have to bring out a power 3 ball. And it's not a gimme shot where you're just laying it up over there and you're taking the layup shot and you're just being consistent about it. All right, let's see if we can do this right this time and choose hole number 9. I just can't believe that the practice thing didn't know what I wanted to do and just do it. Hole number 9. All right, here we go. And I'm going to do 10% times the wind divided by 1.8. Dun, 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 dun. So what I'll do tonight or this afternoon is I will go back and watch the video here and take notes on what I determined I needed to do. This is why you need to record your own video. You still need to watch my channel, but you need to watch your own as well. My whole deal is I want to make sure that people understand that there's more than one way to skin these cats. That you don't have to come out here and every time do, you know, like this is the only way you can play the hole. Because if you want to get in, this is the only way you can play it. There's multiple ways to play. Every one of these holes, there's multiple ways that you can play it. One way might give you a better shot, but there might be some risks involved in it. And like, you know, yes, I could do that, but over here I have the same shot every time and I can get consistent. Of course, in the practice round, they're going to give us, can I get to that spot? I can. 2.5 rings. Max. I was right here. I'm going to pull out 2.5 rings at the +9 mark. 3.7. Should be 2.26 rings. There's 1, 2, 2.6, puts me just a little teeny bit in the overpower. Perfect. And I needed to go way over. Way over. I'm not so sure I didn't take that on the front in the round with my APOC. Pick up that extra distance that I'm looking for. I'm going to practice it one more time. One more time. This time I'll do it with an APOC. I'm going to do a 1/4 of a ring. And I'm going to hit 70,000 rings great to the left. Perfect would have been short, but closer. Let's try that one more time. One more freaking time. Practice. Let's go back and practice hole number 9 one more time. I only got one practice token left, so here we go. Here we go. See if we can get a max curl shot worked out here. It'd be nice if we could set it up so that we don't have to bring in anything special. We can just do the same shot and get us close down there. A topspin boost ball, like a 3-power topspin boost ball, might work. Depending on your club level, you might have to bring a 4-power ball in order to get to that spot, but this is one of those deals is that you can go, just depending on your ball inventory, what can you get done? I'm trying to get as many of these holes done as I can without using a special ball. That's my goal. It seemed to me, I'm thinking, there's 45 holes in a tournament, and if you play a full tournament on the Sequoia Creek holes, damn, it seems like I used like 25, there was like 25 Power 5 balls. Like if you're really, really going for the holes. Let me switch this up to an APOC. I can pull back from the red line. Max. Okay, I'm trying to cut that angle. I'm going to set myself up. Do I have any markers here? Any kind of indication of where I'm at? I'm orange ring off 3.9. There's 3.6. There's about 3.9 with 10%. Isn't it perfect? Still need to go more to the left. That angle is, I'm thinking that I can hit a bigger angle than what I'm actually hitting right there to get through that gap. I think I'm one ring off that tree. My opponent getting down there. I'm dicking around. I'm just practicing. It's a practice day. Come on. I did a practice round one time. I was going out and doing a thing, and some year I had to look it up. I had to go and do a language translator they put on there. This is shite, which is shit. What are you doing, dude? I could go out there and do that. That's what practice is all about. Come on. That is going to end up short. It's going to do exactly what the ball guy was saying. It's one of those spots where it's what you do when you get into a spot like that where you're moving around and you're trying to run topspin and your ball guide's appearing and disappearing, is you put on about 2 backspin and you get right up next to the cup. Because there's some area out there, there's some dip in the course, and the ball guide can't run through it and give you a read on it, and you need to get past that spot so you get your first bounce in a second in a different spot. All right. We have options here, so now, tomorrow, so what I'll do, here's the MO. This is what I recommend all of you do. You play around. You play a practice round like that where you can go out there and you can try it out. And you don't worry about your score. The whole goal is not to qualify today. And we're not going to qualify today, which is excellent. Is not qualify and go out there and just run a practice round, so that what you can do is you can go back this afternoon or this evening and you can watch your video. And then you can make yourself a set of notes. And now you have a game plan. And if there were spots where you were trying to do curl shots like that and you had a spot that you picked out there, you can go, hey, I'm going to be 2 rings off of this transitional surface, or I need to be 2 1/4 rings, or whatever the deal is. Or I'm going to pull back to the +3 mark, and then from there I'm going to put on this, and then I'm going to do the shot so that you can have a good set of notes. Then you go in and play your qualification round on Tuesday and be serious about it, because you really want to qualify on Tuesday. It's risky when you try and qualify on a Wednesday, because I've had rounds where I was like kicking, yeah, I got this course, I got this, and then I went out there, and then all of a sudden you drop a couple shots, and the next thing you know, you don't qualify, and you don't have any backup. You can't go on Wednesday and do the deal. So you really want to qualify on Tuesday at the least. By using Monday as a practice round, looking at the video, making yourself a set of notes, and then go out there and play those notes. And make the slight little tweaks that you need to make to get it done, and be thinking about, hey, this shot works fine today because we got a tailwind and everything's good, but I'm right at the limit of stuff. And be thinking about, look, okay, hey, I used a 2 power ball, and I was right at the red line, but if I was playing and we had a headwind round, now I've got to change my shot up and I got to start doing some overpower. Maybe I should bring out a 3 power ball and pull back from the red line so that I give myself a little bit of leeway so that I can work the wind out. So it doesn't matter which way the wind's blowing. This is the shot that I'm going to take. And have that kind of game plan going in. And there are some of the holes that, you know, maybe you're going to do the shot with a 3 power ball or a 4 power ball, but on some days you're going to bring out a 5 power ball. And being selective instead of just going out there and playing, you know, using up all your good stuff at the beginning. All right, thanks for watching. That was the 2024 4th of July tournament practice round. I did my scouting report yesterday. Today was practice. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe, hit the like button, ring the bell, leave me a comment, do all that good stuff, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, my friends.